by miracle of sound. All right, welcome back to the Shardbreaker podcast. I am Midnight, your host, and I am here with Darkness.
Hello.
And Mythic.
Yeah.
This is episode 1 of Edgedancer.
I'm Seth, by the way. I'm not Mythic. I want to know that.
We read chapters 1 through 9, although Mythic accidentally listened to an extra chapter and a half, so he's going to try not to use that extra chapter and a half information during this episode, because obviously Darkness has not read that far. So yeah, let's get right.
The whole book, honestly. I only have an hour and a half left.
It's not a very long book. We're going to be finishing it next week.
Yeah, apparently.
So chapter 1 is obviously starting with Lift, as Lift is a POV character for 90% of the chapters. And she's running across an open field in northern Tashik. She startles some axe hinds that were grazing nearby, and Wendell grew next to her at the ground, asking if they can go back. Lift doesn't respond, but thinks that she can't as she's on the run. She makes herself awesome and slides frictionless across the ground until she trips on a rock and falls onto her face. She makes her face awesome and slides until she slams into a tree. The tree then falls over and plays dead as Lift gets to her feet, the wound on her foot instantly healing. Wendell goes up into the air to face Lift, asking if they can go back to Azimir. Lift replies that she just escaped the palace. Wendell doesn't understand why she would leave when she had everything she wanted, but Lift insists that they wanted something from her because of how well they were taking care of her. Potentially, they wanted to eat her. Wendell finds this ridiculous. Lift thinks about how the people in the palace had given her shoes, soft clothing, and then started asking her to take lessons and learn to read. She didn't want to lose herself and all that, to become some other person. So what do you think about Lift's fear of becoming different if she stops living on the streets?
She's got some serious issues. Like,
she really does. Wondering how many people tried to cannibalize her in her past.
Right? Apparently they just want to eat her.
Everything about her is just about food, so...
That's because she's constantly using up all of her calories, so she's constantly starving herself. I think your whole life would be about food as well if you were constantly starving.
She has the... I am constantly starving. She has, like, the most broken ability, and yet uses it up instantly.
Yup. And she didn't even stay in a place where she could constantly be eating if she really wanted to.
I kind of wonder if that actually would work. Just keep eating and storing up Stormlight.
She would love a buffet.
She would love a buffet, but only if she can steal from it. She isn't like just being given food. She wants to steal the food.
Which is so weird.
Which is valid, honestly.
That's valid.
So, I will remember those who have been forgotten. The words go through her mind. Lift becomes awesome again as she slides across the stone, wishing she could go back to sliding around on her knees like a little crab. But Darkness had told her that people with powers like her used to be elegant with their powers. She ignores Wendell, who is talking, and runs up a hill, then jumps off, slicking her entire self as the wind pushes against her. She glows as she speeds across the ground, until suddenly hitting another tree. So what do you think about Lift trying to be more graceful like the Edgedancers of the past?
Seems to be listening to Darkness a little too much.
She hates Darkness, but also she's like, that sounds kind of cool to be really graceful and elegant. Darkness would know. He is a herald. He's seen all sorts of Edgedancers over the years, over the centuries.
Yeah, that man needs to die, honestly. But not before Zeth learns everything from him.
Darkness is a liar.
What do you mean Darkness is a liar?
I would know, I'm him.
Exactly. I agree. Darkness is a liar in this book and in real life.
So Wendell comes back over to her, saying he was sure she had been happy at the palace. Plus he says that the Emperor will miss her. Liv says she left a note, meaning that she ate his dinner, and he'll know what that means.
Yeah, okay.
Wendell does not believe that he'll know what that means.
No, he won't. My food's gone. Okay, well, servants, make me some more, I guess.
So Liv can feel herself getting quite hungry, and Wendell states that she shouldn't have used her power so much, as she searches her pack for food. He then goes on about how he used to garden chairs from the beads in Shadesmar. Liv thinks he's a strange Voidbringer, as he's never tried to eat anyone's souls, and assumes he might be a vegetarian.
I find it so weird that the two very strange people are somehow attached to one another. You farmed chairs, and you don't think you're weird?
Nope.
What would I farm? Vines and plants? Yes!
No, that's exactly what
a gardener does.
You don't farm people. That'd be like him farming people.
I mean, isn't that what technically, like sperm donation banks are?
Wow. He doesn't work as a fucking doctor or something, though. He's a gardener. So he gardens chairs. I think he also mentions at some point gardening shoes or something.
Yes, he does. When he talks about the guy that
The cobbler.
yeah, that he would have been bound to instead of
Yeah.
her. It was a cobbler, and I was
The
like,
cobbler that
but
darkness killed.
What are you talking about? Allegedly.
Too bad the Truth Watcher's friend got to him first. Yeah, we'll get to that later. Yeah, Liv
no,
thinks
we
that
won't. We're never gonna get to it.
we are. That was not in the readings that you did too far of.
No, we're never gonna get to it. It's
Liv,
never gonna happen.
Liv thinks that she is more of a loner than somebody who stays with others, as she worries about people getting to know her too well and expecting things from her. Wendell then asks if it was about what happened to her previously regarding her getting her first period. Liv thinks that she had asked not to change, but she had obviously been lied to. Wendell asks if they're going back, but Liv says that she's just going to say goodbye. So what do you think about Liv's ask of the Night Watcher being not to change?
The Night Watcher made her a child forever.
Except she seems to be starting to go through puberty.
Yeah, she's growing.
Yeah, but I didn't mean a child like actual child. Like, yeah, she'll go through puberty, but her body will always look like a child. She will always be 11 years old.
Did you guys also catch on to the fact that she started her period?
Nope.
Because they kind of give it kind of a vague description, because Wendell's kind of like, it's okay, it's normal for it to happen, you weren't wounded. Because she was, like, bleeding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
No,
what do you think
did
about,
not realize that.
do you think that Liv's ask of not to change is up to her expectations? Because apparently her specific ask was, I want to not change. But does that really mean not growing up like she seems to think it does?
Obviously not, if she's growing up.
How do you think the Night Watcher may have, like, taken her request?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Interesting thought.
You have any thoughts, Darkness?
Well, honestly, I was thinking about this last night too, and I can't tell if it's like if it's her doing it or if it's an after effect of the Night Watcher herself, like granting her thing or whatever. But she's definitely like strongly against like any sort of changes towards herself and her way.
Yeah, she's definitely scared about becoming a different person, both physically and mentally, seems like.
But it's the thing is that it's not happening physically. Like she's changing physically anyway. And it's not like she hasn't changed some of her mentality because she does learn stuff and she's like, able to work with it.
Yeah, it's only she
So
can't,
it's,
like, grow,
it's
like, it's only she can't mentally grow. It seems like she is reasoning things.
she's able to, work with stuff. So yeah. Oh no.
So chapter 2, we move forward in time to Lift arriving just outside of Yada, which was an impressive city cut out of the ground. It was only 100 years old and made by using shard blades. On the fields above the city were farms. She thinks that she could hide really well in a city like this, insisting in her mind that it was the only reason she'd come here. She wanders down a road towards a line of people waiting for permission to get into the city. Wendell glances out at the city, asking how it was made. When Lift mentions shard blades, he gets uncomfortable and insists that Lift needs to learn about them on her own when Lift asks him what he knows about them. Liv threatens to bite him, but Wendell doesn't believe she would do it. He then also mentions not wanting her to hit anything with him, as he's a gardener, which confuses Lift. So what do you think about Wendell specifically not wanting to become a Shardblade?
He wants to become a hoe.
I mean, yeah, does. He wants to become a tool.
Oh, some gardening shears, anything like that, just not a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know that previously, I think during the Lift interlude we got, you guys had suspected she might have been hitting her third ideal, but it seems like based on the fact that she doesn't really know anything about
She's
shard
right
blades or
below
anything.
it.
Yeah, she's only done her second. So her second ideal was obviously the where was it? I will remember those who have been forgotten. That was obviously her second ideal, not her third. So do you guys think she's gonna hit her third ideal by the end of the book?
This book?
Mhm.
Fuck, I don't know. It's such a short book.
It is a short book.
Yeah, she will.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you think her
Yeah, she's
third
gonna-
ideal
she's gonna
might
get
be then?
I will garden.
That doesn't really match her first ideal.
It's okay. All that matters is that it matches the spread.
I will remember the plants of the food I've eaten.
I will remember the Voidbringers.
What do you think, Mythic? What do you think her third ideal might be?
What are the first two again?
Well, the first one's the same one that everyone gets, which is life before
Yeah,
death
what's
and
the
everything.
first? What was the first and second one again?
The second one is I will remember those who have been forgotten.
What was the first one?
The life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination.
Say it slow.
Life before death, strength
Okay.
before weakness, journey before destination. The same one
Okay,
everyone
and
gets.
then her second one was what?
I will remember those who have been forgotten.
Yeah, I like the plant idea better.
I will remember the plants of the food I've eaten.
Okay, wait. What is she again?
about her
She's
food.
She's an Edgedancer.
Edgedancer.
Right.
The name of the book, yeah.
I feel like I should pin the circle thing since we reference it so much. Where is it?
Yeah, that's what I
I
was
will,
looking at
I
right
will,
now.
I will heal those who need healing.
Where is it? It's so far up now.
I will lift the corruption of this
Oh
land.
my god, her thing is loving
Wait, what's her second? What's the first one and then the second one?
Loving and
and
healing.
healing.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, it makes sense that she's good. Like, she's good at being really compassionate towards like all the different like urchin kids and everything.
Because she is one.
She's already a very compassionate person.
Probably something to do with growing, honestly.
So Wendell then mentions that he was worried about the strange weather as the weeping had been starting and stopping, which was unusual. He also mentions the new storm that Gox had been told about. Lift replies that the noodles, which is what she calls the viziers, didn't seem to think it was true. Lift then notes that she does feel a distant thunder. Lift asks if his Voidbringer friends know anything about this new storm, but Wendell replies that the cultivation spren aren't very important, and don't even have their own cities like the cryptics and honor spren do. Wendell then complains that it was probably too late to go back to Azir, where they would have been protected. Lift says they'll be safe here as long as darkness doesn't kill them. Wendell asks why she brings him up, and she mentions that he's in the city, which is why she had mentioned wanting a shard blade. So what do you think about the cultivation spren being less important than the honor spren and the cryptics?
Maybe it's because cultivation themselves didn't face off against Odium how Honor did.
I mean, it would also kind of make sense where like the cryptics being lie spread are like again like emotion spren, kind of like honor spren, so they'd be maybe closer to honor, whereas cultivation spren are closer to cultivation. So yeah, if that's correct, then maybe all the emotion-based intelligence spren are like kind of more elevated in their society in Shadesmar than the ones that are closer to cultivation. What do you think about that, Mythic?
What was the question again?
What do you think about the cultivation spren being less important than honor spren and cryptics?
They are less important. They're gardeners, so.
Damn, that's rude.
That's rude.
It's rude. Also, what do you think about the fact that the spren have cities in Shadesmar?
I mean, I feel like we've gone over this.
I couldn't
And
remember if we
also-
had or not.
I'm pretty sure, especially since we've gone over what the circle is.
The ring, I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, the ring.
Yeah, which is like seems like a council of cultivation spren.
Yes, which I did straight up say, but you know.
So Wendell asks Lift if she came here specifically to go after darkness, but Lift says she did not. Do you believe
okay.
that?
Yeah, okay. No, not at all.
She's got an unhealthy obsession.
with you.
No, with food.
No, with you.
Instead, she was here to eat 10 different types of pancakes that they only make during the weeping. Wendell asks if she is really here for pancakes, even though darkness is here, and Liftus replies that everyone seems focused on Zeth killing kings, but darkness had been killing small and unknown people all across Roshar. Lift then asks if she can grow plants to eat, but Wendell states that it would likely take more Stormlight to grow the plants than it would provide her to eat them. Although he does state she has odd circumstances, so he may be wrong. So what do you think about how Lift is worrying about like all these like little unknown people that darkness has been killing?
It's probably with her ideals, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
she's
that's
like,
what falls into the loving category.
because like she's like everyone cares about like all these important high up people are being killed, but like no one cares that like all these other people are being murdered as well. So yeah, Lift very much worries about the people no one else cares about.
So she's like, what's this fucking series called?
Oh, Stormlight Archive?
I guess she's a Stormlight.
She's an
Spider-Man.
archivist.
No, she's the Spider-Man.
I kind of think of Edgedancers almost like the social worker types. They like try and help people like who are kind of forgotten by society and that people don't care about.
Maybe, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into that. But yeah.
I know that there's obviously issues with a lot of social work systems and reality, but I mean like
Mhm.
the ideal of someone who would want to go into social work of like helping people, like that's kind of what the
Mhm.
Edge
That's
dancers
what
are like.
social workers do. They don't help people.
I have
Anybody.
they do. I have some friends who are social workers.
No, they don't help people. They make everything worse.
Well, in Canada they help people.
In Canada, they do a lot of like fantasy things. Okay?
So
Like
lifting
free healthcare. That's so fantasy.
it's not a fantasy, it's what a lot of the world does.
Nah, that's fantasy.
So Lift examines the crowd of people, surprised to see more hungry families than merchants trying to get into the city. Wendell tries to ask her something, but she tells him she's too hungry to talk about anything else. Lift then suggests stealing some of the guards' food, but Wendell replies that she could buy some with the spheres that had been given by Gok's attendants. Lift, however, states she didn't bring any of the spheres with her, as you can't get robbed if you don't have money. She then sneaks off towards the front of the line. So yeah, she's like, Wendell's like, you could give Kin all this money, just buy some food. She's like, I didn't bring the money with me, I'll just get robbed.
Yeah, I mean, she likes to steal things anyway, so
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like that's going to be in her ideals as well.
Mm.
I steal from those who have too much.
Oh my god, she's gonna be
Oh my
Robin
gosh, she's
Hood.
Robin Hood. Yes.
I still steal from all the nobles to give to all the street urchins.
Hmm.
Lift is
We had the
Robin
same
Hood. We
thought.
did. I had never thought of that before, but Lift is so Robin Hood. She literally gives all this grade from this like thief to all of the like beggars down below.
Does she really, though? I'm pretty sure she just accidentally handed them a bunch of stuff, okay?
She
I don't
definitely
think she
did
did
it
it
on
on
purpose.
purpose.
No, she definitely did it on purpose.
Nah, she definitely did not. There's no way. She's not that smart.
She
She's pretty
won't
stupid.
admit to it, but Wendell can see
Nah,
through her.
she's pretty stupid. She didn't do that.
So we go to chapter 3, which is switching to Haka's point of view, and she examines the contents of a cart.
Talk to her.
Oh my god, Haka. She examines the contents of a cart containing tallow. The farmer doesn't have any calluses and has fancy boots, which makes Haka suspicious. He's also entering a part of the city where only poor people without papers generally enter. So he asks him to move off to the side to get his papers notarized. Haka then goes over to Nisakan, the deputy scribe, to bring up the farmer. She mentions how she is suspicious that he isn't a farmer. Nisakan asks if he's smuggling anything, but Haka replies she checked, and then realizes he probably stole it from unguarded farms in Amul as they're at war. Nisakan nods and agrees and states that Haka should tax him as a smuggler, an offense, which would give him a triple tariff, which Nisakan will use to go towards feeding refugees. So what did you think of Haka?
Hakutua? I don't know. I honestly don't even remember Hakutua.
What did you think of Haka, Darkness?
Who was it?
Haka, the captain. The guard captain.
The guy who stops her at the gate?
Wasn't it a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
Haka's a
two.
girl.
Yeah, she was cool.
Hakutua.
She was the whole mood, especially at the end.
Yeah, Hakutua.
Also, Mythic, I bet you can't even imagine how the deputy scribe's name is spelled, Nisakan. You want me to show you how it's spelled? Because you would.
Wait. Here, let me type it out.
Yeah,
Ready?
you type it and see if you can. I'll type it out. I'll paste it what it actually is after.
There you go.
No, it's like this. It has a double Q.
Okay.
It's a fucking crazy ass name.
And that said how?
I believe it's spelled. It's pronounced Nisakan.
Okay.
That's just how I'm assuming it's pronounced.
Oh wow, okay.
I think we make it like a double K sound. I think it'd be like Nis-ik-con. Like a double K. Nis-ik-con. Anyways, so Nisakan then mentions having a few spears to trade Haka.
You gotta say it with phlegm in your throat at midnight.
Nisakan. I don't know. I can't. So Nisakan then mentions having a few spears to trade Haka for, and Haka thinks she'll trade information for them. Since open flames weren't allowed in the city, getting light for reading at night was extremely difficult during the weeping. Haka then brings over the extra forms to the man with the grain. He complains about them as he states she has no proof he stole the grain. She replies that he's getting off easy because if she did have proof, then she would seize the grain instead of making him pay extra tariffs. The man reluctantly begins filling out the forms. Haka then notices movement in the man's cart and pulls off the tarp to reveal Lift eating the grain, mentioning that it tastes terrible. The man is upset, but Haka promises Lift a Sunday pancake after Lift mentions that her parents are dead, so that Lift will leave the grain alone. Lift then jumps out of the grain, off of Haka's shoulders, and runs into the guard room. Haka chases her, taking out her club and putting away her spear as she doesn't want to hurt Lift, but just intimidate her. Lift slides around the room, grabbing a pancake off of a table that she accidentally knocks over. Haka and the other guards try to grab her, but she easily slips around them and out a window. So what did you think about? What did you first think of Lift showing off her powers in front of Haka and the guards before you knew why she did it?
Another Shalon.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Lift then looks back down through the window, asking what pancake it is she ate so she can know what other she has left. But Haka just says for her to come back as she hasn't been processed for immigration yet. Lift runs around on the roof until a scribe calls out that they see Lift. Eventually Lift gets back outside and heads towards the grain cart again. Haka grabs Lift by the ankle, two other guards stumbling and falling on top of Haka. She watches as Lift eats a pancake and then unhitches the cart from the chull. Haka cries out for the guards to get off of her as she just barely stops the cart from falling down into the city. Haka tells Lift that she's eating a tuck cake, eaten for prosperity. Lift says that people should eat them all the time before kicking open the tailgate of the cart and causing the grain, which glows slightly, to fall out and down into the city below. Lift jumps down after it, and the man who had stolen the grain shouts angrily, anger spring collecting at his feet. Haka could hear people in the immigrant quarter below shouting in delight as food fell from the sky. Aka then tells one of the other guards, Rez, to take over for her while she took a break. So what did you think about
I'm
Lift sending
taking
this?
a break.
She's like, I'm done for today. What do you think about Lift
Mhm.
sending the stolen grain down into the city?
It was just totally an accident.
She just wants something soft to
Making
land
it
on.
rain.
Exactly. No
She
other
was
reason.
making it rain, Darkness. So then we go to chapter 4. We switch back to Lift's point of view as she jumps down, holding slightly onto Wendell, who hurries down the cliffside when she jumps. Wendell liked to complain that she shouldn't be able to hold on to him, that she must be stuck partially in the cognitive realm.
That,
She
I
could,
think, is what the Night Mother gave her, by the way.
but she could hold him, so he was talking nonsense. Once she lands on the ground, harder than she would have liked, but healed by her awesomeness, she hurries off into an alleyway as people shout in delight and thank the heralds for the grain. Lift then heads out of the alleyway, glancing around at the buildings cut directly into the stone, and painted to differentiate them. Wendell commends Lift for sending the grain from the thief to the people below, but Lifton says she just wants something soft to land on. She notes that there are shanty towns here, which are rare in Roshar because of the high storms, but the chasms seem to protect them, although they were up on stilts. The entrances to most of the stone buildings were also up a few steps from the roadway, which Rindle says is likely to protect them from the water that washes through here during high storms. So what do you think about the fact that shanty towns can exist in this city because it's protected by being in the man-made chasms that are well drained?
Say that again?
I said, what did you think about the fact that these shanty towns can exist in this city because it's protected by the man-made chasms that are well drained? So like they're man-made chasms, but they also don't flood because they have like drainage systems that were like built into them.
Interesting.
Like sewers.
I'm not sure if it's sewers. I think they explain at one point that it's just kind of like the roads are all partially slanted, so they kind of like the water all like washes out of the city.
It's an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that what they used to do in like freaking Rome or some shit?
No.
I
I
thought,
forgot what it's called. I know they have a system like that.
yeah, I'm not sure.
It's not Rome, I can tell you that. I don't know what it would be. I think I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, I think so as well. But yeah, I think it was a
pretty sure it wasn't
different
Rome, because Rome
ancient
had a
city.
lot of nasty shit that was in their fucking
Yeah,
streets.
no,
So
it's an aqueduct from like Rome type of. It's an
okay,
irrigation
yeah, but
system.
aqueducts are different though.
Yeah, aqueducts are completely different.
We're talking about literally slanting the fucking walkways that people are on so that it always washes off. Aqueducts are literally something that like the
They
rainwater pushed
transport water.
into. Yeah, exactly.
They're more about
A
transporting
little
water
different.
into a city instead of out of a city.
But yes, you're right. Aqueducts
Mm.
were a Roman design. Yes. Was it Greek though? Could have been Greek before that.
Yeah, it could have. I mean,
Possibly.
Romans
'Cause I know
based off a
Greek.
lot of Greeks.
Yeah, I know because I
That.
know Rome took a lot of like Greek inspiration.
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that'd have been a Greek thing first.
Which, as a non-Greek, I take great offense to. You know.
Okay.
As a non-Greek.
So Wendell asks what they are going to do now, and Lift replies that she needs food as she had used up all of the food she'd just eaten with her powers getting away from the guards. Wendell complains to the Blessed Mother as Lift wanders down the streets. Wendell mentions how he wanted to bond with a cobbler that helped children as he could have helped make shoes for the Radiants. However, he worries that Lift would use him as a weapon and states he would have to help her find the words. So we kind of talked about this briefly, but what do you think about the fact that Wendell wanted to bond the Truth Watcher cobbler that Darkness killed in the first book?
I think it was a better idea, to be honest.
Wasn't that an
And
old guy,
also,
or am I
Darkness,
tripping?
why did you kill
Was it a what? Sorry?
old guy?
Wasn't it an old guy?
Yeah, it was an older man named Yim, who was Iriali, and he was helping street
Nah,
urchins.
wait. Didn't he already have a sprint too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a Truth Watcher, so I'm assuming both the Cultivation Spren and the Lights, or not Light Spren, and the Mist Spren were watching.
Like that sprint honestly was fine for him.
I think he probably encapsulated both of the different orders. It's just the Truth Watchers obviously got to him first.
Hmm.
Miss Spren got there first. And we know that it was a Truth Watcher Spren because he was able to do the healing, but also I think just before he died, the Spren had tried to get him to form an illusion to hide himself from darkness. Yeah, it makes sense considering he was also kind of very focused on like the kind of like street urchins and everything. So it makes sense that the cultivation Spren were also interested in him. So Lift then mentions that she got a book from the guardhouse she wants to trade for food, causing Wendell to begin to read through it. As he does, Lift glances at a strange Kremling with a brown squishy strip on the back of it. Wendell then mentions that the book is a logbook of the times the guards come and go, and thus likely useless to sell for food. Lift is annoyed by this and throws the book over her shoulder, unfortunately hits a woman as she shouts for a guard, causing Lift to run. So what do you think about this
Also,
weird...
totally. That was totally on her. You know, that she planned that, right?
No, that I don't think she planned.
She totally did that without, just did it,
It's-
Mhm.
Also, I think both her and Wendell are wrong about that logbook being able to be sold. She could probably sell it on the black market somewhere to people who want to like steal from the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she's not a very good criminal, okay?
And he's
Wendell
also just
definitely
like
isn't.
he's just a gardener, bro. Give him a break.
Wendell's the best. Wendell is the best criminal, right?
Window.
Wendell's just like, I see absolutely no use for this book outside of being a guard. Definitely no one would ever need this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what did you think about this weird Kremling that got pointed out with the brown squishy strip on its back?
At this point, they've called a shit ton of stuff the same variation.
So
of things, so I don't
Kremlings
even know.
generally are like bugs. They're like little, like, crab-like creatures that I think you would generally say like, oh, it's a random bug. But they would say Kremling instead.
With a squishy thing on the back.
Yeah, it's got some weird squishy brown strip on the
It's a
back. Of it.
parasect.
It's a parasite.
Does seem like a parasite. You're not wrong.
So chapter 5. We start.
No, I want to know what it is.
It's just a fucking weird bug. I'm just asking if you thought anything about it because they pointed
What
it out.
kind of a weird bug, though?
Just a weird bug. I don't know. It's a
Like,
crab
what kind?
bug.
Why would you ask me about it if you're not
It's a
gonna
crab.
give me
If it's a crab,
information?
if it's a crab, obviously, then it has to be a Parshendi, right?
It's a soft shell crab with an actual soft shell.
Someone just threw a piece of pancake on it. That's what the brown squishy part was.
Oh my goodness.
Just a molding piece of pancake stuck
She's
to the
gotta
back of
eat it
this
now. It's
crab.
bad pancakes.
It's pancakes. She's got to eat it. 100%.
It'll come up again later. We'll get to it next
I'm
episode.
sure.
Oh
That's why you're asking the question. 'cause
Yeah, that's
you
why I'm
know
asking the
that.
question, but it'll come up next episode.
no, I don't want to.
I just say every once in a while there's just some Kremlings mentioned in the book, and it's like why are they mentioning a Kremling? This book and other books. Why are they mentioning Kremling? Just keep that in mind when we read the next.
Like that one thing that was flying around that one girl with the giant turtle thingy.
A dragon thing?
No, that's not a Kremling. That's a I don't know.
Isn't it like tiny though?
It's a
I'm not
Larkin.
sure.
I don't know if they've actually given you that name yet, but it's a Larkin. It's not that. I don't think it's as tiny as a Kremling. It's a little bit bigger.
Oh, okay.
It's like the
I
size of
thought
like
it was tiny.
I think it's like the size of like her fist or something.
You're the size of her fist.
Okay.
You're hard.
You're not wrong. Midnight is the size of her fist, I'm sure. She's tiny.
My fist is definitely the size of my fist.
What?
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 Makes sense. Like, please.
It that does. If
That did not make sense.
my
That did
fist
not
is the
make sense
size
at
of my fist, just like a book is the size of a book.
Yeah, and a stick is a stick, right?
Yeah. Except it could be fire.
Oh my god! And the lift is a lift.
It's lift an elevator.
I'm a stick. I am a stick.
Maybe that's what they meant. Like, you know how that stick was like, I don't want to change. Fuck you. And then, so like, she's like connected to Shadesmart because of that.
I see.
I mean, I have an idea, a theory on what that is, but honestly,
What's
it's
wrong?
On the Kremling?
I'm
No,
joking.
no, on Lift and her Night Mother shit.
Oh yeah. What's your theory?
But on what
She is the Night Mother.
totally.
Like what?
She asked to not maybe I think she asked to not change, and one of the I feel like it's a downside though. That's the problem is
Mm.
that she's stuck between the whatever two planes of
Yeah,
existence.
Shadesmart and the.
Why she can touch I wanted to say pattern, but I can't remember what this dude's name is.
window.
Wendell.
That's it. Yeah, window. Yeah, why she can touch window and all of that. I feel like, but like I don't know how
Yeah.
that would be. That seems more like a bad thing.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think-
hard to really tell what her curse is because she has like this. We don't really know what she like. We understand that like yeah, she seems to be partially in the cognitive realm. She also can turn food into stormlight, but we don't really understand fully what the exact boon and curse that she got is.
I feel like the Night Mother was just like, you know what? You asked for the stupidest thing. I'm gonna just not give you that, and I'm gonna just give you a curse. Just gonna curse you. You don't get to not grow up.
What do you think about the fact that this is like our third character who's seen the Night Watcher? So because we've got Dalinar, Taravangian, and Lift as our Night Watcher visitors. It's kind of a
That lady
weird
is
trio.
popular.
Well, I found it
Is it
weird.
even a lady? It is a lady, right?
Night
The Night
Mother,
Watcher is a they ascribe female characteristics
Night
to her,
Mother, for
but
sure.
we've not met her, so we don't know if she actually considers herself female.
Exactly, Night Mommy. Storm Daddy and Night Mommy.
They're both Spran, right?
They're both powerful, Spren.
Very powerful.
Oh my god, what if they meet and they make a?
What if that's who Syl is?
Oh my gosh. So chapter 5. We start this chapter half an hour later as Lift lays on a tarp on top of one of the shanties, finally away from the persistent guard. She can hear a family below talking about the grain, and she thinks about the words she had said while saving Gox's life. I'll remember those who have been forgotten. She pondered on the meaning of them, thinking that no one remembered her mother. Wendell asks why Lift never has gone to the Reshi Islands, where she is from, and Lift just replies that her mother said she was from there. Lift then mentions how the real reason she left Azir was because people had started to know who she was, and she didn't want to be what people expected of her, but to be who she really was. Wendell asks who Lift really is, and Lift just thinks she had once known who she was, or she had been young enough not to care. Lift thinks of her mother again until her stomach grumbles, and she says she needs to go find some urchins. So what do you think about Lift wishing people had remembered her mother, and how that seems to have affected her wanting to remember others?
Wait, repeat the question?
What do you think about Lift wishing people had remembered her mother, and how that seems to have affected her kind of like ideals as a Knights Radiant?
Whenever
Huh.
things I'll remember you or whatever it was. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Dalinar's shit. Wait, is her mother dead?
Yes, her mother's dead.
That's probably a strong reason why her second ideal is that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. Like, it seems like her like issues with like her mom being forgotten by society kind of like
This
is
is literally built up all over who she is.
yeah. I'm assuming her and her mom were very poor, and like her mom probably like no one cared when her mom died. And like
Wait,
Lift
so
probably
can
was
she
traumatized by
remember
that.
her?
Yes, Lift can remember her mom. She thinks
So
about her mom,
I'm
specifically her.
assuming a lot of her like deep-seated trauma is the fact that she doesn't want to forget her as she grows up.
So you think maybe that's why she asked not to like change, because she doesn't want to forget like over time her mom?
Well, yeah, if she's seen that everyone else has forgotten her mother, then why would she want to forget her too?
Mm-hmm. Also, what do you think about Lift's worry about changing because of people's expectations of her?
This girl is like worrying about the most basic shit in life, honestly.
To
Maybe
be
she
fair,
is a
she's like
child.
a preteen slash early teenager. She's like worrying about like figuring out who she is, which I feel like is a very teenage puberty thing.
Which shouldn't be what she's going through, because
You know, she should be a preteen forever, not a teenager.
what do you mean? She's like, what was it, 10?
Well, she says she's 10, but I think she says she's been 10 for like 3 years. I think she's 12. Maybe I don't know how long this is after the
No,
her
she's always
interlude.
gonna be 10. She's never
Yep.
gonna grow up. Remember?
Yeah, no, she's always gonna be 10. She's been around for 13 years, but she's still 10.
Yeah, she's always gonna be 10. She will never be anything other than 10.
Yeah, Minnie,
What
get
if
it
what
right.
if the Night Mother's thing is like that she thinks she's young forever? Her
Hmm.
body continues to grow, but her mind never does.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that, because she can definitely grow into like different things mentally. Like, she's capable of understanding what's happening.
Is she though? I don't feel like she's
I mean,
capable
these
of
chapters
understanding
prove
anything.
it. Yeah.
She knows nothing. I don't know what she's talking about.
Now, choosing to be ignorant is a whole different.
No, I totally didn't drop a bunch of grain into poor people's houses or anything. I totally didn't help anybody ever.
Definitely didn't
I
come here
totally didn't come
to.
here to come to darkness.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. She totally didn't come here to, like, stop darkness from killing other people. She definitely just came here for pancakes.
I thought she was there to join up with darkness. What do you mean?
No, she's here for pancakes. She needs to eat all 10 of the pancakes. That's
That's
the
why I joined her for
that's the
breakfast.
plot of this book, is finding all 10 pancakes to eat. Did you realize?
Gotta eat them all.
Exactly. Haven't you guys figured out the plot of the book yet? We're halfway through. It's to find the pancakes.
How many does she have left?
I think she's eaten 4. 'Cause she ate 3 from Darkness's plate from his breakfast, and then she got 1 from the guardhouse. So she's got 6 more pancakes to eat.
Wait, how many
She's
does she
got
have left?
She has 6 more.
Oh,
Gotta eat 6 more pancakes.
gotta find 6 more victims or one really hungry one.
So we move to chapter 6, which is moving forward in time to Lift talking to a young urchin girl. She trades her handkerchief for some information about a person with eyes like swords. The girl then correctly asks if Lift was the one who caused the rain to fall from the sky, and asks
This is
if
the
she's
same handkerchief she sucked on, right?
possibly, yeah.
I was thinking that, and I'm like, that poor girl.
I don't think the urchin girl cares.
It's
Yes.
nasty.
The girl also asks if Lift is listening, because others don't listen. Lift replies that she is, before the girl wanders away. Lift glances over at the communal ovens that the people here use, as they weren't allowed fires in their homes due to a fire that had killed a lot of people in the past. Wendell comes over, asking about the strange language Lift had used with the young girl, and Lift replies that she had just used words that felt right. Lift then explains that the girl had mentioned the same orphanage as the previous urchin she spoke to, but they mention that the woman who runs the place is mean and untrustworthy. Apparently she only gives food to urchins to look good to officials. Wendell, however, says food is food, but Lift doesn't like the idea of just being given food. Lift thinks about the girl's question about listening as she moves through the streets, thinking that she thinks she usually listens. She avoids hands trying to reach out to her as she walks, thinking that people for some reason put their spears on strings here, which she thinks would be difficult to make change with. Lift eventually gets to the orphanage, which is at the intersection of two streets and has some seats carved out into the stone wall across from it. Lift knocks on the side door as she's been told the main door was for officials and such. A boy with a flat face that Lift associates with people who are born different answers and tells her to sit and wait as food comes later, not giving her a time. Lift reluctantly goes to sit with some of the old people who are chatting on the benches. Wendell asks about the boy, and Lift just replies that some people are born like that. So what do you think about Lift being accepting of all these different types of people who most people kind of don't want to associate with?
What was the question again?
What do you think about Lift being so accepting of all these different types of people, such as the boy with the flat face? She doesn't really comment on it. She's like, oh, he was just born different.
I mean, not everybody can be awesome like her.
It's true.
I mean, it also just really fits with her ideals. Honestly, she's very. I feel like if she's aware of if she actually tries to be aware of what she needs to do, radiant-wise, she's definitely getting there as fast as possible.
You think she's gonna kind of catch up to our other radiants pretty quickly?
Yeah. Would it be possible? I don't even Would it be possible for them to just say the ideals right after another?
I think if you knew them, if you were pretty sure of yourself and what you believe in, yeah, you could say multiple ideals in a row.
Oh, that's cool.
So after a while, Lift sees a woman with a boy who is drooling and sightless with a healed scar on his head go up to the orphanage. The woman hugs the boy before leaving, which Wendell is stunned by. Lift replies that she likely has other children to feed and can't care for him anymore. Lift eventually goes up to the boy, holding his hand until the orphanage doors open to reveal an ugly older woman. The woman calls Lift an idiot and the boy an opportunist, saying that she can see through his deception and that he'll likely be gone soon enough. The boy with the flat face from earlier leads the hurt boy into the orphanage as the woman tells Lift she can have 3 meals only and that she can sleep out on the stone benches. The door then slams in Lift's face, and a while later, the boy throws out a bun with spicy paste in the middle out to Lift for dinner. So what do you think about the boy who was left by his mother and the reality that Lift sees in orphanages? She kind of says, people see orphanages, all the nobles and Light Eyes see orphanages as this ideal place with perfect children, but in reality it's just these kids that are damaged in some way and that the families can no longer take care of.
And if they're so fucking perfect, the orphanages just fucking adopt them all. There wouldn't be a need for them,
What do you think, Mythic?
About the kid that's lying about being stupid? That guy?
Apparently. The one that's drooling and has a head injury. The woman, yeah, is
Jesus. I agree with her. He's lying.
You think so?
Uh-huh.
Do you agree, Darkness? Do you think the
No.
kid's lying about being as injured as he is?
No.
No? Why would you think she calls him an opportunist then?
Because she's mean. The fuck?
So Lift calls the woman a witch. She sits on one of the benches.
Oh, hold on. Honestly,
I agree with
regardless, if a child is willing to get damaged enough to feign an injury of serious magnitude, just to get a meal and stuff, just feed the child.
I mean, she did take him in and feed him and let him sleep in there.
And then thousands of people will do that, and then you're out of food.
Yeah, well, that's what this guy that talks to Lift in a second is going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So Lift calls the woman a witch as she sits on one of the benches, but an older man tells Lift not to judge the woman so harshly as she has to deal with the problems of others. Lift replies that she doesn't have to be mean about it. The man says that beggars will congregate if she's too nice. Lift still complains anyways, and the man eventually tells her to trade for some information about the Stump, which is what they call her. He tells her that the Stump trades spears secretly, and although Lift doesn't understand why, the man says that if she can find someone to trade with the Stump, then she is likely to get on the woman's good side. The man then asks her a question in exchange for the information, asking which body part she is most like, as he thinks a whole city is like a full organism.
Alright, so Midnight, what body part are you?
That's going to be my question at the end of this, but we have to have Lift's answer first. Lift replies that she is the nose, as she is full of crud and you never know what'll come out of her. She doesn't mean the reply to be helpful, but the man replies that she was at least honest. Lift then says she has to go because she has an appointment. So yeah, what body part does everyone relate to the most and why?
I know what yours is.
You know what mine is?
Yeah,
I
What would
honestly
mine
want
be?
to know.
the ankles, because
No,
that's where you reach.
no,
Hmm.
it's not the ankles. I'm
So
trying
what
to
is
Also,
yours
he'd be
think.
then,
showing
Midnight?
them off a lot on stream, so.
What would
So what
I?
is yours, Midnight?
I think
Is
I
it the
would.
underwear? Because you show that off a
No,
lot too.
that's no. That's also not a body part.
I
I
wasn't
think
gonna say the actual body part, but yeah, sure.
I think I would be eyes if I was a body part.
Why?
I think I would be eyes because I feel like that would be the sense that I would like be the most reluctant to lose. Like I really enjoy like looking out at the world, and I just feel like I don't know. I it's hard to really give a reason, but I just feel like I enjoy seeing as the sense that I most appreciate. What about you two? What body parts are you guys?
Go on with it.
I don't know. I am the knees
How come?
because I'm flexible. That's the only thing I can think of. But
Okay. What about you, Darkness?
Obviously, I'd be the butt.
Okay. How come
why?
you're
Because
a
you're the butt end
butt?
of every joke.
No, because I talk a lot of shit.
Nice.
And also, some people need me more than others.
Wait, what was the last part of that?
I said some people need me more than others.
Oh,
Okay. I see, I see. So we move on to Chapter 7. As Lift wanders off, thinking she had never been good at keeping time, Wendell asks if she's going to try to get spheres for the stump. However, Lift replies that she thinks the stump is laundering money for criminals or something. She also thinks the woman could be using sympathy to get infused spheres for done ones to then trade with moneylenders for a small profit. Lift heads back towards the ramp up to the guardhouse where she had entered the city, noticing the line had gotten longer and that most people were making camp for the night. Some merchants were trying to sell food, water, and tents to the people in line, even though they didn't look like they had any money. So why do you think the stump is trying to trade money?
Honestly, at some point, so I was going through all the possibilities, and at some point, I even reached the possibility that she might be a whore, but
That she might be a
anyway,
whore, did you say?
yeah.
Damn.
wait, who are we calling a whore?
The stump. The old
Oh.
mean woman at the orphanage, apparently.
I had to go through all my stuff,
What do you think, Mythic? Why do you think the stump is trading money?
the sump.
The stump.
Why do I think she's trading money?
Yeah, so she's apparently trading spheres. Like she's giving someone spheres and receiving spheres back. So Lift's two assumptions are either she's laundering money for criminals, or that she's trading done spheres for infused spheres by getting people's sympathy. Because usually done spheres are worth less because you can't tell if they're real or not unless they're infused. And so she's thinking that she's sending out her done spheres to using people's sympathy as an orphanage owner to get infused spheres, and then going back to like money lenders to trade infused spheres for done ones, which then would give her a bigger profit because they would give her more done spheres for the infused ones.
That makes sense, to be honest.
Do you think it's that one? She's like trying to increase her profits. So Window then mentions that people need a place to take root, just like plants, or they'll blow away in the storm. Lifters replies that sometimes it's nice to blow away, but that she thinks about the storm that she can feel building. The storm that the Alethi claim is blowing the wrong way. She thinks they must be playing some sort of game. She watches as the guard captain that she had met earlier leaves work, looking tired, and heads towards an apartment building just outside the immigrant corridor. Liv thinks it was surprisingly easy to follow her as she watches as sphere light lights up one of the windows near the top. So why did you initially think Lift was following Haka?
Back to it.
Well, I don't honestly remember why I thought what I thought about that, to be honest.
Did you have any thoughts, Darkness, about your initial thoughts of why Lift might have been following Haka?
Nope. I just knew she was following her, and I was like, I bet.
Also, what do you think about the fact that people don't seem to be taking Dalnar's warnings about the Everstorm very seriously?
Would you, though? That's the thing. World isn't normally changing.
Dalnar's like, I need to warn everyone about the Everstorm. They're like, sure, there's a storm blowing the wrong way. Sure there is. So Lift tells Wendell to help her climb up the stone wall, and she makes her way up the side of the apartment building, past the captain's window and to the top and out onto the fields above. Liv can see the captain's window from there, and she tells Wendell to take her up if anyone goes in or the captain leaves. Wendell asks why, but Liv doesn't give an explanation. As the sunlight comes out in the morning, Wendell wakes Liv up to let her know that darkness went into the building. Wendell figures out that Liv had used her powers near the captain to lure darkness to the captain, which Liv confirms as she states that it's easier to get darkness to come to her than to go find him. Wendell doesn't understand until Lift says she thinks Darkness is tracking someone like her here in the city. She then uses Wendell to climb down the side of the building until she is next to the captain's window, and she can hear her and Darkness speaking. Darkness is asking the woman to explain the situation with Lift and eventually asks if Lift glowed, which the captain replies that Lift did and that she was slick to the touch. So what do you think about Lift using her powers to lure Darkness to a place she could find him?
That's pretty smart.
It was very smart, and unlike her. Obviously, she's stupid.
I think she said so herself. So I'm dumb, but you're not.
Darkness then tells the captain to keep an eye out for Lift and report any sightings of her. Before he leaves, he briefly questions the infused spheres that the captain has on the table, but done ones in her lamps. The captain replies that she traded for the infused ones recently, as all of her spheres had gone done over the weeping. Eventually, Lift sees Darkness leave the apartment building, wearing the same black and silver outfit. Wendell asks what they'll do now, and Lift replies they're going to follow him. So why do you think Lift wanted to follow Darkness?
I thought she was just getting information on what he wanted and all that.
What's the question again?
Why did you initially think Lift wanted to follow Darkness?
I just figured she was trying to figure out more, or hear more things from him, since she seems to be following what he said before. So
we then get chapter 8, and we continue with Lift as she tails Darkness. At first doing so up in the fields above, but she worried about how few bridges there were across the slots, so she eventually climbed down and followed him through the streets. She didn't pickpocket or use her powers as she slipped through the crowds of people. She didn't have much awesomeness to use anyways, as she had last eaten the night before, and she didn't fully understand why it took about half a day to lose the awesomeness, even if she didn't use it. She finds it hard.
she's metabolizing all the food she's eating. What the fuck?
I mean,
How do you not realize that?
she's like 12 or 13. She doesn't, or technically she's 10. She doesn't fully understand like how the human body works. So she doesn't really get that your body needs food to run. So obviously it's using up the food if you're not using it for Stormlight. So she finds it harder to trail Darkness than most people, as he seems to almost slip from shadow to shadow. Eventually they get to a fruit market, and Lift steals a purple fruit to munch on as she continues to follow Darkness. A fruit merchant shouts out, and Lift at first thinks he's shouting at her, but she then sees a young woman with a whole basket of fruit running from the stall. Lift whimpers when she sees the woman running in Darkness's direction. Darkness easily grabs the girl and drags her back towards the shopkeeper and hands back the basket, barely noticing the girl struggling to get free. The girl even throws a fruit at Darkness's chest, but he ignores it as he explains to the shopkeeper his position and shows his papers. The girl starts to panic and brandishes a knife, but Darkness slaps it away before stabbing her through the chest with his shard blade. Two urchins near Lift whimper and cry as they had known the girl. Darkness makes the shopkeeper sign a paper witnessing the action and putting down the time and date. As Darkness goes to leave, the shopkeeper angrily asks if it was necessary to kill the girl, and Darkness just replies that she would have benefited from prison and that lesser punishments often lead to reoffense.
Yeah, like cutting hands off, yeah.
So what did you think about Darkness murdering the thief?
The best option, to be honest. Like you said, repeat offenders.
What did you think, Darkness, killing
Hey, Darkness, what do you think about Darkness?
It was great.
Yeah.
I'm not even lying, though. I don't see his perspective as wrong, though.
I agree. See, I'm 100% on the same page as you. He doesn't.
Well, the thing is that I'm not gonna say, it's the best outcome, but I don't think cutting off a hand or anything like that would have helped.
No, I agree.
Yeah, cutting off her hand definitely is not a better option in my opinion. I don't think he should have killed her though, just for stealing some fruit.
I mean, she ain't gonna do it again.
I guess.
And it sends a message to all the other people who might want to try to steal fruit.
I mean, even the shopkeeper was like, "That's fucked up."
Yep. And then he explains it to him, and the shopkeeper's like, "Okay."
No, the shopkeeper definitely is still not okay with it. He just doesn't. He just doesn't want to anger Darkness. Yeah. As Darkness walks away, Lift runs to the girl's corpse and tries to heal her, but the woman stays dead. Wendell says that a Shardblade kills too quickly, and that Lift may have been able to save her if she had gotten there right away and had more of her powers. Lift then angrily
just jump in there.
Lift then angrily takes 2 fruit from the shopkeeper, taking a bite in front of him, and runs off after Darkness. She follows him to a giant cistern in the center of the road that people were lowering buckets into, thinking of the girl's name, Tika, and that she would remember her as few others would. So what do you think about Lift trying to resurrect Tika like she did with Gox?
Second idea.
How did she know her name? How did she know her name?
Tika was Tiqqa.
No,
they say it though.
Oh.
Pretty sure the other 2 or whatever that were there were said her name.
Yeah, the 2 urchins that are next to Lift are kind of being like, "Oh, I bet you. How long do you think until Tika gets away from the guy?"
Oh, okay.
That's how Lift knows her name.
Okay.
But yeah, so what do you think about Lift trying to resurrect Tika like she did with Gox? Oh, I already
It's
asked that
crazy
question.
that she has that ability though. Like, I wonder if it'll work better considering that she's half stuck in Shadesmar
I'm not sure.
compared to other people of her. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if she like said more of her ideals and she just like went into Shadesmar and like snatched that shit
Grabbed the soul and just shoved it
and
back
just
in the
shoved it
body.
back? Yeah.
Get in there.
Come over here. I'll get over here. Wrap the vine up around her or them.
Use Wendell as like a lasso.
Of
So eventually Lift loses sight of darkness, and she heads back into the main streets
course
of the
she
city,
does. I said, of course she does.
looking for a part of the crowd where people were acting strange until she spots Darkness again. She sees him heading into a building and heads towards it. Wendell warns her that Darkness likely has an invisible spren with him, also keeping watch. He also states that Lift is not a match for Darkness, as Lift has many more words to say. Lift just jokes about it before mentioning she needs to go into the building to listen in on Darkness. Wendell just begs her not to get herself killed, as it would be traumatic for him and take him several months to get over it. So, what do you think about Wendell's worries about being traumatized by Lift getting herself killed?
At least someone's aware of trauma. I'm not saying he's gonna be, coping the healthiest way, considering that he's gonna get over it, quote unquote,
He's
in
like,
a
it'll take
couple
me
months.
months
But
and months to get over it.
Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't take him that long.
Well, apparently it depends on how traumatic her death is. How violently she dies will depend on how traumatic it is for him.
doesn't he at some point discuss how many ways she's gonna die and shit?
Yeah, yeah. He talks about all these different ways that it would be a better way to die. So Liv causes a tree to grow next to the building until it grows up to the first floor window. She then climbs the tree and goes in through the window after listening to make sure no one was just inside that room. Wendell is very excited about Lift's display of plant growth and says they should forget about the Skybreakers and go run a farm where Lift can sculpt plants and eat all day. There is a guard, one of Darkness's men, just inside the main door of the building, and Lift sneaks through the hallway, searching rooms. As the man goes to use the toilet, she eventually finds Darkness's room and eats a plate of pancakes that were likely meant to be his breakfast. Lift notes there have been 3 types of pancakes in Darkness's breakfast, and Wendell seems a bit happy that Lift was only interested in eating Darkness's breakfast. He suggests a farm again, but Lift instead says she needs to go spy on him, and Wendell shockingly agrees, although a bit hesitantly. So what do you think about Lift using her powers to grow a tree so she could get into the building? And apparently no one noticed.
Trees would be great. Just saying. That's what I would grow.
The
I wonder if it makes noise.
growing of the tree?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. She doesn't state that it does.
I'm assuming it would. It's like wood. It's just like sprouting, but
What do you
Kind of
think?
weird that she grew a tree and nobody notices it, but
Yeah, she's like, yeah, nobody notices miracles, but they'll notice me if I'm picking pockets. Everyone's just too lost in their own day-to-day stuff to notice a tree just growing by a building over there. I would have noticed. That's why I'm the eyes.
I feel like even you wouldn't notice. She seems to go invisible through life.
So then we get chapter 9, our final chapter.
Is it really? Oh man.
Yep, it was our final chapter, even though you accidentally
Oh,
listened
let's
past
talk
it.
about- Totally thought that it wasn't our final chapter.
We continue with Lift's point of view as she heads towards Darkness's voice, while Window mentions that Lift should try not to die in a violent way to not traumatize him.
Chapter where I show up. Sweet.
Mentioning many ways he thinks would be less traumatic. She listens in by the door as Darkness talks to 2 of his recruits, scolding them for not finding any leads, even though he found one. The woman says she had stopped a criminal, but Darkness says they need not be distracted by petty criminals and to focus on larger matters, which the woman confirms as surge binders. The male initiate asks why it wouldn't be better to have other knights radiant orders to help them, but Darkness insists that Ishar told him that having them return without honor to regulate them would cause a desolation. A voice from a man Lift hadn't seen initially speaks up, stating that Darkness was wrong. The man insists that the Voidbringers have already returned, but Darkness replies the man is wrong, and there were a few remaining Voidbringers from the past who were still around, and had been in hiding. Lift soon realizes the man stating Darkness was wrong was the assassin in white, hugging a longsword in a silvery sheath. So what do you think about Darkness not believing the Voidbringers are back?
Just like everybody
right.
else.
What did you say, Darkness?
I say he's probably right.
You don't think the Voidbringers are back?
Not yet.
I mean, he's calling Zeth a liar. That's been called truthless for like these whole book series so far, and now he's getting told again, nah, you're fucking wrong, dude.
Well, I feel like the way he described it after is pretty accurate.
Also, what do you think about Darkness specifically killing Surge Binders to try to stop the Voidbringers from returning?
Reminds me of what that one dude wanted to do. Was it
Amaram?
Terrangan? There you go.
Yeah, he kind of has like the opposite idea. Like, Darkness is like,
No, not Amaranth. Was it Did you say Amaranth?
Amaram.
No, I meant Teravengian.
Oh, Teravengian.
I was right.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like kind
Lion
of
Rider.
Darkness and Amaram kind of have like opposite goals. Where Darkness is like, if I kill the Surge Binders, the Voidbringers won't come back. Whereas Amaram's like, if I bring back the Voidbringers, the Heralds and the Knights Radiant will come back. They have very opposite goals.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't know if you remember, but the guy he says Ishar, who's the one who told him that the Voidbringers weren't coming back, he's one of the other heralds. So one of the other heralds is around. Darkness has been talking to him, being like, "Hey, are the Voidbringers coming back?" And Ishar's like, "Nah, the Voidbringers aren't coming back. Don't worry about it." Which herald is Ishar again? Ishar is the herald of the bondsmiths, and I believe Ishar is also the one who initially created the Knights Radiant, because I believe Talon calls Shalon one of Ishar's knights when she goes and sneaks in to see him. So yeah, apparently Ishar's around somewhere. So yeah, fucking Amram's been trying to get the heralds back, but the heralds are just hanging around Roshar. He just doesn't see them.
That's interesting. What the heck?
So yeah, all the heralds are just kind of around, except for Talon, who was in Damnation up until recently. Everyone else has just been hanging out though on Roshar.
They've been having a great vacation, huh?
Yeah, 4,500-year vacation.
Oh, I would be so mad if I was Talon.
Talenala Elin.
Yeah.
So Zeth insists that Nin's sun god was wrong, but Darkness insists that Zeth is wrong and that Ishar had promised him. He also calls Zeth weak for questioning things. Darkness then tells all three of them the only right thing was to follow a code. The woman then tries to ask about the second Surgebinder, but Darkness replies that the second Surgebinder is his. He wants them to find the first one, as Surgebinders often clump together, drawn to each other. Darkness states that the Surgebinder will break some law, as the orders outside the Skybreakers always thought themselves above the law. He says that their minds cannot be trusted, not even his, so you must pick something external to yourself to follow and trust in. So what do you think about Darkness saying that you cannot trust your mind? Darkness can't even trust his own mind. You must pick something external to follow.
That's just that's gonna lead to some issues for sure.
Me, right? He's over here claiming he's speaking to heralds or whatever.
I mean, he is a herald, so he
He's a herald,
probably is
yeah.
speaking to the other heralds.
Yeah, he's speaking to himself, you know.
Uh,
It's actually Nightblood pretending to be Ishar.
Exactly.
Nightblood's like, yes, I am Ishar. The Voidbringers are not returning.
not if
Just
I
believe
can do
me.
something about it. Kill all of the Surgebinders.
Surgebinders are evil. Destroy evil.
That 13-year-old that says, that's 13-year-old that says they're 10 like 3 times. She's evil. Destroy her.
Yeah, the second Surgebinder they're talking about here is obviously Lift. Darkness is like, nah, I'm going after Lift. You guys go after the person we initially came here to find. So the woman glows for a moment as she says she has a lead. The man insists he does too, although Darkness tells them they need to work together as this isn't a competition. However, he states that they only have until sundown, and then he will deal with the Surgebinder himself, as he cannot wait any longer. Lift then hurries off, upset that Darkness and his followers were glowing and awesome like her, but yet hunting down her and the others. She's also worried about Zeth may go after Gox. Wendell worries about Darkness being a herald, Naylan, but Lift tells him to shut up as she hurries off into an alleyway. So yeah, what do you think about Darkness seeming to be testing the others that are with him to find the Surgebinder in the city? Because apparently it sounds like he already knows who the Surgebinder is.
Wait, the others are confirmed Surgebinders?
Yeah, so the woman begins glowing. So it seems like they're Skybreakers that are like working under Darkness/Nail.
Right.
Because remember, Darkness recruited Zeth to join the Skybreakers with him. So for all we know, Zeth could have a friend now. We don't know how long this is after the other stuff, after the last book.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like he's got some Skybreaker recruits with him to like test them on becoming Skybreakers. Because they've been around for like a fucking long time, so it sounds like Nail has like this like formalized way to become a Skybreaker, whereas all the other orders, since they've been gone for so long, they're kind of just figuring things out on their own.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they don't fit to become the Skybreakers if he just like slaughters them.
You're not good enough. Die! Just in case they become a different type of Radiant.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And you know what Darkness as goes.
What do you think the spren of the Skybreakers is like?
Very airy.
Wait, I need to go back up all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I've showed you the picture of all the plushies of all the different ones.
Yeah, that's what I want to look at. But it's so fucking far up. Damn, how far up did we send this?
I can resend it if you want.
Oh, you did it? Okay. Which one's the ones that we already know people have?
So Syl, you can tell who Syl is. She's the blue girl, right?
Yeah.
Pattern is very obvious. He's down in the
We have
bottom center.
pattern.
We got the Stormfather there as the bondsmith, besides Syl. The left is Syl.
Ready? Got it.
The left or the right?
The left is Syl.
Long hair or short hair?
Long hair with the big mustache and everything.
Okay.
That's the Stormfather. And
Okay.
then Wendell is the guy in the top middle.
Yeah.
So those are all the ones I believe. Oh, and then Ivory is the one on the other side of Syl. So Syl's in between the Stormfather and Ivory.
Ivory's cool.
So those are all the ones we know so far.
And
Top
what
left.
was the one you're asking?
I'm asking which one do you think is the Skybreaker Spren?
It's going to be the one at the top left
That's what I was thinking too.
or the bottom right. One of the two of those.
You think one of the two white ones?
Top left or the top right for me?
Top left or bottom right.
Yeah, no, Darkness
So
is saying though he thinks it's top left or top right.
Oh, you think okay?
He thinks it's either the angry one with the red eyes, like reddy orange eyes, or the galaxy.
First of all, he's not angry. He's happy.
Wait. Did we not get? Well, what's her name? Not
Jasmine?
Shalon. Yasna. Did we not get Yasna yet?
Yeah,
That's
that's the one on the
Ivory,
other side
right?
of Syl. That's Ivory.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Syl's in between the Stormfather and Ivory.
Ivory's cool as fuck, bro. Pattern's cute. I want a pattern.
I ordered a
I want
pattern
an actual.
plushie.
Yeah, I actually want a plushie pattern. Yeah.
Yeah, I've ordered. Jesus and I ordered a Syl plushie and a pattern plushie.
Oh my goodness.
Don't want to sell plushie.
I like how it says designs not final though.
Wait, which one would be mine?
Well, if I tell you that, then it's gonna slim
you're
down.
right. You're right.
You haven't seen yours yet.
But I want to know.
Yours is going to be the top right.
The all the way to the right one. I'm assuming that's the the bottom left one is the light one, right?
Bottom left, you think is your Spren?
No, the light is the light spread my spread?
Yeah, yours is the light Spren. Remember, because it was ironic.
No, we've been over this before then.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, I think we might have. I think I did tell you guys that bottom right is the Truth Watcher Spren. That one's mine. It's a Miss Spren.
Oh,
So I think I pointed out which one each of you
so that's
had.
not his then.
No.
I'm sticking with the top right or top left either way.
Yeah, I believe
Actually,
I
I
have.
feel like it's more like a top right.
I don't think I've confirmed the two top ones, and I don't think I've confirmed the. I think you're right.
Bottom left.
I think was bottom left the light Spren.
Bottom left is light.
I think bottom left was late, yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Light Spren plushie. Yeah, it is. It's the.
Why does it look like wood?
I don't know. Let me Google Light Spren. Let's see what they say about them.
Maybe it's because like fire for wood.
And then the middle far right one is going to be the one I can't think of what her fucking name was now. The fucking person giving everybody powers and shit.
Yeah, so the light Spren in the cognitive realm, which is these are the cognitive realm version of each of them, have metallic bronze skin, making them look like living statues.
Cool.
So yeah, so you guys only don't know 3 of them technically. Then you don't know the one of them is obviously the stone. There's the Skybreaker Spren, the Dustbringer Spren, and the Stoneward Spren. The other 3.
Repeat them.
Dustbringer Spren. So these are just like the names of the orders. There's the Dustbringers, the Skybreakers, and the Stonewards.
You said Stormwards?
Stonewards, yeah.
Stonewards. Okay. Okay, cool.
All right. So our overview questions. Do you think that we have seen the Surge Binder that Darkness is looking for yet? And if so, who do you think it is?
Can you imagine it's the captain?
If it's Haka,
Talk to it.
No, I think it's going to be the old lady.
you think it's gonna be the Stump?
Mm-hmm. No.
Oh, that too, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean,
If it's Haka or the Stump, which order do you think they might be in?
Watch the stump be the same order as Lift.
Lift?
You think they might be an
Doubtful.
Edgedancer?
Doubtful. Lift is the only awesome one around here.
She's gonna be like, she's awesome too.
Imagine the Stump gliding around gracefully.
Yeah, totally. Old lady. Okay.
What type of Surge Binder do you think Haka would be?
A justice, whatever darkness
Well,
is.
no, because if it was a Skybreaker, they wouldn't be searching for her.
Nah, it's definitely the same as darkness. Because I don't think it's her. So
That's fair then. Yeah, if you
What
you
the
don't
fuck
think
does pious mean?
pious, it's like reverent, like spiritual. I think.
Mm.
yeah, religious.
I think it can be religious, but not necessarily specifically in like a specific religion. Because Dalinar very much is like not really that religious anymore because he's like, oh, I know that the Almighty is dead.
No, he is religious though. He's religiously following Sky
Yeah.
Daddy.
Technically, he's religiously following, I think, Noah Dawn more than anything. The guy from the Way of Kings.
Nah, he's definitely religiously following Sky Daddy.
I don't know. He's kind of bullying the Stormfather a bit. He's like, "You will be my Spren."
Darkness. We almost got her. She almost said it.
Anyways, my
I
second.
think she's a stone word.
You think
If
she's a
not,
stone word?
if not an Edgedancer. Cause watch it be titled Edgedancer, but not because of Liv, because of her.
Also, do you think Lift will be able to save the other Surgebinder before darkness gets to them?
She's gonna meet him. She's not gonna save him.
You think darkness is going to kill the other Surgebinder?
It's gonna happen right in front of her.
No, I think she's gonna. They're gonna kill her, and Lift's gonna bring her back to life, or bring
Gonna
them back.
resurrect
Yeah.
her like she did with
Yeah.
Gox?
If that happens, I feel like she's gonna say her words before that, though.
I definitely think she's gonna say the words in this book for sure.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
third ideal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Obviously about food.
Yep, something like that.
I will remember all of the food I've ever eaten. I will remember all 10 pancakes. So yeah,
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be something else. It's gonna be like, what was that fucking person say? The one person she talked to was like,
the old man.
no, not that one. The other person. They were like, you don't listen or something. Are you
Oh,
listening to me or
the
something like
urchin
that?
girl who says, "Do you
Yeah, it's
listen?"
gonna be
Because
something
others
with
don't listen.
It's gonna be something with listening.
You
Yeah,
think it'll
but
be
listen
like,
to those who not be listened.
I listen to those. I listen to those who can't, or I listen
Can't
to
be
those
heard?
who talk, or can't be heard. Yeah.
Or won't be heard. Yeah.
Ignored. Yeah, those who are ignored.
I
the
listen
people
to
ignored.
nothing.
I listen to nobody ever, including my own fucking
Equality.
friend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to get some more oaths since we mostly only see Kaladin's because Shalans are truths, and then we've seen one from Dalinar, but like I always find it interesting to see like the other orders is like ideals. I like finding them.
I
Why?
like my ideals better.
So yeah, do you guys have any other theories about how this little short book might end?
With Lift finding Dalinar and them helping create the Knights Radiant. I just find it would be hilarious for her to meet Dalinar. Like Dalinar and her would get along so well.
There's Liv definitely hears of Dalinar, and she has some interesting thoughts about him. There's there's some points that get made about some observations about Dalinar that get made at some point in the future. There's some memes.
Can we get wait, have we gotten a picture of her? Of Lift?
A picture of Liv, yeah.
Okay. I don't remember.
I feel like I saw a good picture of like her at one point.
I want to see Lift with her Shardblade.
Well, she doesn't have a shard
it's
blade
gonna-
currently.
it's
It's
gonna
small
be
little
a-
dagger.
It's gonna be a shard hoe.
Shard hoe. Yeah. What the hell? I do
Have
not
you seen
remember.
this before?
No, I don't think so. It's a very tiny picture, but yeah.
I feel like I've seen a picture before.
I don't think I saw this picture before.
It's not this one, but I feel
I
like
think I've shown you guys during the Lift interlude. I think I sent you guys some pictures of Lift.
maybe.
I think I might have sent you guys this one before.
No, it's not that
I don't
one.
remember this either. Keep going until we find the one that you have shown us. Maybe you'll show us.
No.
something.
I remember. Where the fuck is my phone?
Ooh, that's a cool looking fucking photo.
That's the one that I
That's
saw.
the city she's going to. That's the one that's.
That's the one in the book. That's what I saw. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was one in the book. I meant to send it to at the start. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, why don't I get pictures? God damn.
That was the only picture.
Well, you can't see pictures
Sure
of
it was.
Yeah, that's the picture from the start of this book.
That's what I was like. I feel like I seen her working her little magic shit.
So yeah, that's her going to the
slidey,
city.
slidey. Yeah, when she slid on her face. Yeah.
When she has a fascination with breaking trees, honestly,
Yeah.
and then growing them.
First off, wait, they didn't break. They fell over and played dead, remember?
Yeah.
No, they fell over because they felt left out.
The other two did, yeah. Ooh. That's cool.
Lift seems like such a fun character. I like Lift.
Guess she's the same size as you.
She gives me the same aura as like Aang from Avatar.
Yeah.
Alright, so that is the end of this episode. I want to say thank you to our Patreons, Kyle,
Yeah.
Hubers, and Calvin Dies in Book 3. Thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
subscribing to us. We really appreciate
Paladin
you.
dies in book 3. Thank you.
No, he doesn't.
And
no, he
so
doesn't.
the next thing we're doing is basically just finishing off Edgedancer. So we're reading chapters, if I can type, chapters 10 to 20. Although I guess for Mythic it's only chapter 11.5 to 20 because you've accidentally
I'm gonna
read
read it. I'm
forward.
gonna reread it. That's
Yeah.
all good. I'm gonna reread it because I don't remember most of what happened.
So yeah, so
I
chapter
mean, I
10
probably
20,
do. I just don't.
and then we're also
I
going to
don't
be.
think third ideal comes in that, so
I mean,
don't
I
think
think if
so.
she was to get a third ideal in this book, it would be probably at the end during like a big climactic part if she gets it. This book.
Yeah, just like Kaladin getting his. Yeah,
Yeah, that's usually what happens in the books. Is you get them during like
exactly.
they're
Big
during a
climax.
Sanderlanche big climactic part.
Is there gonna be a Sanderlanche in this book? It's so short.
I don't think there's really a full Sanderlanche. I think there's like a little mini
Do we
kind
get to
of
meet?
like.
Do we get to meet Hoyd in this book?
No, I don't believe Hoyd's in this book. He's not in the
Of course not.
novellas. He's
I
only in
was
the
kind
main
of hoping
books.
he was gonna be that old man that was
The
talking to her.
No,
telenovelas.
unfortunately, I don't think Hoyd is here. So I think Hoyd is technically currently on his journey back with Yasna to the Shattered Plains and Urithiru at this point.
Is
He's
that the end
hanging
of
out
the
with
book?
Yasna. Because I think this happens, like, yeah, either right at the... Because the storms happen, so I think this happens after... This obviously happens after Words of Radiance.
20 the end of the book? 20 is the last chapter?
Yeah, Chinese is the last chapter. There's
Oh.
only 20 chapters. There's no
Gotcha.
epigraph. Or epilogue, I mean, not epigraph.
Epigraph. There's no epigraphs.
There are no epigraphs, but there's also no epilogue.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, there's no epilogue. So yeah, it ends with 20, and then we'll also be recording the Alloy of Law trailer next week. I'll be live reading the prologue to you
Chose to
guys.
do? Is that what we chose? Damn.
Yes, Alloy of Law. Which Alloy of Law is only gonna be 6 episodes. There is much shorter.
Oh, so I might end up reading extra chapters in that one too.
Yeah, to make sure you don't. Well, technically, I mean, it's only 6 episodes, but like the chapters are actually quite long. They're not short like
Oh,
this.
okay, good.
They're like 20-page chapters each. So I think it's less likely that you'll. They're not like 4-page chapters like some of these ones. But yeah, so yeah, thank you guys all so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.